Coming up, the C-47 that led the D-Day invasion flies again.
A big win in the fight for fair pricing at FBOs.
A high school where love for flying is the norm.
And flying along in the sleek new Mooney. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment.
Build and flying with the Sonex Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great Sonex Aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonexaircraft.com.
This is AOPA Live This Week with Tom Haynes and Melissa Redinger.
Big news on reducing outrageous monopoly FBO fees and charges. Some airport operators are starting to take action to make things more fair for general aviation pilots.
And the most recent one, Waukegan National Airport, just outside of Chicago. In fact, the airport was so responsive to AOPA's concerns that the association has withdrawn its Part 13 complaint to the FAA. AOPA told FAA that Waukegan has taken positive steps to make the airport more accessible and friendlier to pilots.
And what they did was open up an alternative ramp area, highlight that on their website. It's free parking, actually. They don't charge for anyone to come in, land, and use it. The only thing the transient pilots have to do is call ahead, get the gate access code. They'll get a reservation number. You land there. It doesn't cost anything. And the critical part of it is you're not forced to purchase services that you don't necessarily need or want.
And the FBO reduced the price of self-serve avgas from almost $6 a gallon to $4.81. We just did a webinar on FBO pricing this week and what AOPA is doing to get greater fee transparency, improve airport access, and promote competition. You can find it on our website or our YouTube channel. So we had good turnout for the webinar, and it was, I think, a good conversation. We had some real experts both here from AOPA and an airport consultant joining us on the team.
I think it's an issue that resonates with everybody that flies.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, particularly for owner-flown pilots, that's what we're discovering is because they can't pass on these costs to somebody else. It comes right out of their pockets.
Right out of your wallet. The airlines and their AstroTurf lobbying groups still aren't giving up. They're still trying to get Congress to hand air traffic control over to a non-profit monopoly run by them.
It's the 21st century. You wouldn't flip on a black and white TV to watch your favorite show, or make dinner plans by typing out a message on a typewriter. But every time you step on an airplane, air traffic controllers are using inefficient, outdated World War II era technology to manage flights.
But yet another expert is calling Bravo Sierra on their claims. Michael Baeta writes in the Journal of Air Traffic Control that air traffic control has very little to do with airline delays and congestion. He notes that privatizing air traffic control would absolutely not help fix delays or airport inefficiency. The final deadline is looming for the FAA's ADS-B rebate program. The rebate gives $500 to equip with ADS-B out. The deadline to reserve a rebate has passed, but the rebate can still be validated until February 15th. And just a reminder that the ADS-B out mandate is less than 2 years away. After January 1st, 2020, ADS-B out will be required in all airspace where a transponder is required today. So the time to equip is now. Learn more about ADS-B and which equipment is right for you on our website.
Are you planning to get your certificate or add another rating this year? If so, AOPA's flight training scholarships can help you reach your goal.
It's important really to help those people that really have a passion for aviation really get to the finish line of getting a certificate. For the high school program, we're very excited to help these young people that already are driven to pursue flight training, to support them in that way. And it's really fun to follow their progress throughout the year.
There are 3 categories of scholarships this year, one for high school students, initial training, and advanced training. The new advanced scholarships can be used to add a rating or certificate upgrade like instrument or commercial. The scholarships are from generous donors to the AOPA Foundation. The application is open now until May 2nd. Flight training scholarships are part of AOPA's You Can Fly program. You Can Fly is AOPA's initiative to grow the flying community. You Can Fly just got a major boost with a $100,000 grant from American Airlines. The grant will help AOPA's development of STEM curriculum for high school students. The curriculum is currently undergoing field testing at 29 high schools across the country. It will be available to any high school this fall.
And one high school that's already using aviation as a learning tool is the Central Florida Aerospace Academy in Lakeland, Florida. AOPA Live's Josh Cochran has the story about how aviation is integrated into the classroom.
For the students at Central Florida Aerospace Academy, every day is about aviation.
We use aviation as a tool to keep kids interested in what they need to do to be successful in life. It just puts a purpose to what they're learning. You put something in front of them that they're interested in, and they automatically start to bend their attention toward it.
At Central Florida Aerospace Academy, learning is hands-on. The students even have access to this fully functional Boeing 727 to learn about systems and engines.
This school we get to go out there and learn what to do hands-on, so it's not just when we go out in the real world we're just going to see, okay, here's what we're going to read and this is how we're going to do it. We know what we're doing.
The learning atmosphere gives the students an opportunity to discover their passions at an early age.
And once I started coming here and I took the classes, I just kind of fell in love with aerospace.
Sometimes it's difficult for students to really get a grasp on what they're interested in. This gives them exposure to aviation, and then if they kind of pick a track and they know what they would like to pursue, we get them certified in it. So it's a great opportunity for them.
One of the learning opportunities is for the students to get their private pilot certificate through the James C. Ray Scholarship.
My grandfather was a pilot, so he'd take us out in his plane every once in a while when I was younger. So now being able to do that, taking control of the plane, it's a great opportunity.
With all the opportunities here, students get a major head start in their careers and their lives.
Yeah, I can put it on a resume that I'm a private pilot in training right now, and they'll see that and they're like, wow, this 17-year-old is already working on being a pilot. It's incredible.
Not every high schooler is trusted to go out and fly an airplane. So that's something great. You learn responsibility and accountability, and it's a great school. It's amazing.
Josh Cochran, AOPA Live.
Some real hands-on training. It's a great place. I've toured it. I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah, wonderful training they're getting, and the timing is perfect because there's such a need right now for pilots, aviation maintenance technicians, avionics technicians, flight instructors, so great skills to be learning, particularly right now. Coming up after the break, general aviation saving lives.
A long-lost piece of D-Day history takes to the skies again.
And we fly the new Mooney Ovation Ultra.
There are many important things to consider before purchasing an aircraft. Let the experts at Aerospace Reports help guide you through the process. We combine expert knowledge with our long-standing commitment to personalized customer service to perfect your transaction. Learn more at aerospacereports.com.
Welcome back. A historic flight this week at Oshkosh. That's All Brother, the C-47 that led the D-Day invasion, took to the skies for the first time in years. The airplane was lost for decades before it was saved by the Commemorative Air Force in 2015. The airplane underwent a major restoration at Basler Turbo Conversions in Oshkosh before the flight this week. The Commemorative Air Force has big plans for That's All Brother. The airplane will return to Normandy next year to mark the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. So I got to see it at Oshkosh and actually go in it.
I did too.
Poke around. And they'd done a lot of work on it last summer, but there was still much more to be done. So it's amazing that they got it all done and it's out flying again.
They're putting a ton of hours into it because it looked like it needed a lot of work when I toured it. So yeah, really impressive.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it again this year.
Me too. And another warbird will be in the spotlight this weekend. P-51 Mustang Sierra Sioux 2 will fly over the Super Bowl on Sunday. The Mustang is owned by Wings of the North Air Museum. It will lead the U.S. Air Force Heritage Flight. Sierra Sioux 2 is one of the few Mustangs still flying that saw combat in World War II. It will be flown by air race legend Steve Hinton.
And if you're flying near the Super Bowl and happen to see Sierra Sioux out your window, well, you'll likely see this out your window shortly thereafter. There is a TFR during the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. The military has been practicing intercepts of general aviation airplanes with the Civil Air Patrol, so we may have said this before, check your NOTAMs before you fly. If you're looking for some aviation-themed entertainment, maybe instead of the Super Bowl, there is a new documentary available on demand. The Millionaires Unit tells the story of a privileged group of college students from Yale who formed a private air militia. The pilots were the first to fly for the U.S. in World War I. The documentary follows these brave pilots through the war with readings from their letters and diaries. The documentary will be available starting February 15th. So you may remember that at Oshkosh a few years ago, we interviewed the folks behind this film and the book that preceded it. and got some really good stories. I've read the book and seen the film. It's fascinating. A great bunch of interesting folks.
I can't wait to read the book. I actually was not aware of this particular history, so I'm excited to get a chance to see what it's all about.
Yeah, well, I'll share my copy. It's worth reading.
I'll take you up on it. And another more recent aviation story debuted on TV this week. A 2-hour special called The Impossible Flight tells the story of Solar Impulse 2. The special highlights the many challenges the pilots overcame to fly the first solar-powered airplane around the world. You can watch the special on PBS or stream it from the NOVA website.
So often the mainstream news media report on only negative things about general aviation. So it was nice to see NBC last week tell the story of the Santa Barbara airlift. After the Thompson fire, mudslides cut off a lot of people. Local pilots pitched in to ferry people to urgent medical appointments. We also reported on the airlift on our website. It was a community-wide effort. Airports and FBOs in the region waived fees to help reduce the expenses of the volunteer pilots.
Finally this week, AOPA Editor-at-Large Dave Hirschman flies the sleek new Mooney Ovation Ultra to see if it lives up to the Mooney legacy.
Mooneys have always been known for their speed, efficiency, and tight handling qualities, and the new Mooney Ovation Ultra is no exception.
The Mooney is a really special airplane. If you're a guy that does cross-country flights on a regular basis, uses it for business, there's nothing that does it faster and more efficient and probably more comfortable than a Mooney.
On the ramp, the Ovation Ultra has the sleek lines of a thoroughbred. The most noticeable change on the outside is a Mooney First, a pilot side door. The comfy leather seats in the Ovation are handmade at the company's factory in Kerrville, Texas. The 2-screen Garmin G1000 NXI panel comes standard with synthetic vision. Mooney owners have always put a premium on speed, and the 310 horsepower Continental IO550 moves the Ovation Ultra along at 189 knots in cruise. The airplane maneuvers with a tight, responsive, crisp feel that Mooney pilots have always found appealing. Despite Mooney's Chinese ownership, the production of the airplane is all American.
They only have one production facility now, one R&D facility, and that's based in the heart of Texas, Hill Country, in Kerrville, Texas. So very American product, hand-built by Americans right there in the heart of Texas.
The Ovation Ultra is a confidence-inspiring airplane that both challenges and rewards pilots with exacting standards. Dave Hirschman, AOPA Live.
The Ovation Ultra costs around $700,000.
But what a beautiful airplane it is.
It sure looks like a Mooney.
It does look like a Mooney,
sleek.
and I'm anxious to fly it because they are fun airplanes to fly, really high performing.
Yep.
Well, that's it for us this week.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again next Thursday for another AOPA Live This Week.
Purchasing your own aircraft is an exciting experience. AOPA Finance simplifies the process, saving you money with lower interest rates and hassle-free loans, so you get into your new aircraft sooner. AOPA Finance, the right approach to buying an aircraft.